Thank you, fellow Americans. Welcome to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert, and I come to you. You see that? Right there. We're live, and I come to you now on night 4 of the Republican National Convention. And we are live, but after watching that speech, I'm dead inside. Tonight was the RNC's grand finale, and the theme was Make America Great Once Again, or MAGOA. Very appropriate, because after a week of this garbage, I'm gonna go lie down for a while. There you go. There you go. Now, coincidentally, maybe have a little help. Coincidentally, MAGOA is also what Trump sometimes accidentally calls his wife. I love you, MAGOA. I'm sorry, I mean MacGyver. I mean Magnum P.I. The theme of the evening wasn't just printed in the program, it was written in lights on stage. Trump! What kind of pathetic narcissist needs his name in giant lights? Sideways, up and down makes sense. This makes no sense. Up and down is fine. This week had, tried and true staples of every convention. Lots of hats. You got cowboy hats. You got this lady who I think got lost coming home from the Kentucky Derby. Of course, plenty of middle-aged white dance moves in the crowd. We got Saturday night. Oh, that's the not synchronized team. The Invisible Bulldozer and Saturday Night Seizure. Love it there. Yeah. It's that's all normal convention stuff. But the thing is, none of this is normal. It's deeply, psychotically weird that this is happening at all. Less than 4 years ago, this man incited an attack on the U.S. Capitol in order to obstruct the peaceful transfer of power for the first time in our nation's history. Then he was impeached again. Then he was indicted a lot. Then found liable for sexual assault and convicted of 34 felonies. And the Republicans are desperate for voters to forget all of that. Also, he's not currently the president, so it's weird that he spoke in front of a Zoom background of the White House.
Come on.
Tonight, this is true. Is this true? Trump gave the longest convention address of all time. Apparently, when they were chanting 4 more years, he thought they meant of this speech. Trump. Trump started off the Bataan Talk March by trying to strike a unifying tone.
I am running to be president for all of America, not half of America, because there is no victory in winning for half of America.
Yes, I will be president for all of America, both my supporters and the evil radical left Democrat socialists who want to unleash Latino Hannibal Lecter, or as they call him, Senor Cannibale. He eats your leg with salsa. Then Trump started to basically recap the previous 3 hours of the convention in real time, and he thanked everybody individually.
Kid Rock, same thing. Called, he said, I want to be a part of it. I want to be a part, because, Kid does his great song, Big, Big Monster song. I had no idea. He became a friend of mine over the last 10 years. And he's amazing. Everyone loves him. I didn't even know how big he was. He has rallies, 35, 40,000 people he gets every time he goes out.
They're called concerts. Not rallies, it's a concert. You pay a ticket, you go and you drink and you go like this. Is that the only way he understands the world? I love Kid Rock's rallies. And Guns N' Roses, such big rallies. And Blink 182 featuring Baby Rexha. I didn't even know they were running for office. Trump promised to bring everyone together.
I'm here tonight to lay out a vision for the whole nation. To every citizen, whether you're a young or old man or woman, Democrat, Republican, or independent, black or white, Asian or Hispanic.
Freaks or geeks, sharks or jets, innies or outies, tops or bottoms, paper or plastic, regular or extra crispy, Gryffindor or Hufflepuff, Simon or Garfunkel, all are welcome. Maybe not Garfunkel, not sure about Art. Regardless of what they promised us at the beginning of this week about unity and about this speech showing him as a whole new man, he just had to play the hits.
I will end the illegal immigration crisis by closing our border and finishing the wall, most of which I've already built.
You built 52 miles of new wall. 52. I built the wall already, but somehow these skinny little immigrants were able to squeeze through that tiny gap, that tiny 1,400-mile gap I left. I am hereby calling on Mexico to produce chubbier muchachos. Chubbier muchachos. No, it's very important. They gotta help. We need muchabos. It's a funny word, muchabos.
It's a funny word.
Trump claimed it was a different country when he was in charge.
Less than 4 years ago, we were a great nation, and we will soon be a great nation again.
Oh, yes, I remember 4 years ago in 2020, everyone was free to stay at home for months, lysoling their banana. If you know what I mean. I mean, we were afraid of our fruit. He also at one point made this observation.
We have more liquid gold under our feet than any other country by far.
And I apologize, I thought I had a handle on that nacho bucket. Now, liquid gold everywhere, but I promise we will scoop, baby, scoop. There were a lot of promises, but really not a lot of substance to the speech.
Under my plan, incomes will skyrocket, inflation will vanish completely, jobs will come roaring back.
Anything else?
We're all gonna get laid.
That's a hell of a platform. I will grant him. We're all gonna get laid. He talked for all of human history, and then the people did the clapping. But Trump wasn't the only speaker tonight. We also heard from former WWE CEO Linda McMahon, current UFC CEO Dana White, and WWE superstar Hulk Hogan, best known recently as the subject of the Google search. Hulk Hogan still alive, question mark? Some say having the Hulkster is weird, but I say having a pro wrestler kind of makes sense. This whole week has been kind of like WWE. Everyone's sweaty and yelling, and most of it's fake. The only thing missing from the WWE-ness of it was someone getting knocked to the floor by folding chairs, and I stand corrected. There. Rudy, he's okay. Rudy's okay. Rudy's okay. He's been everywhere. Rudy's been hanging around the RNC all week, even though he has no speaking slot. When asked why he was there, Rudy offered this explanation.
I got nowhere else to go!
He doesn't. No. Then we heard, and this was nice, then we heard from Executive Vice President of the Trump Organization, Eric, who spoke glowingly of his boss.
Yet through it all, he's shown unwavering courage and determination, not just in public, but in every private conversation with me.
So, just in public. Then Eric revealed something about Donald Trump that many people may not know.
That man is my father.
And that man is a liar. Somebody call Maury Povich. As with a lot of speakers, Eric tried to make his father's crassness into a virtue.
He energizes Americans to the issues facing this nation and does so with unvarnished honesty.
And a freshly varnished face. As Trump mentioned earlier, the crowd was entertained by musical performer and living embodiment of an above-ground pool, Kid Rock. And I gotta say, Mr. Rock rocked the RNC.
I'm back with the beaver hat 30 pack of stroll, straight rock and roll. No Rogaine in the propane flow.
I never thought I would say this, but could Lara Trump sing instead? Because I know his name is Kid Rock, but after that performance, he should be tried as an adult. Earlier in the evening, we heard from Trump's lawyer, Alina Habba.
Tonight, I want to take you behind the law.
It's where I took President Trump so he could grab the law's butt. There was more hubba blubba.
President Trump championed my journey, empowering me to be who I became today.
Kirkland brand Ivanka. Habba, of course, defended her client.
The only crime President Trump has committed
is all of them. Then, honest of her, still awake. Then, apparently the TV gods decided we deserved a punishment.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome journalist, author, and American citizen, Tucker Carlson.
Not a great sign when your intro has to clarify that you aren't technically Russian. Carlson reminisced about the original kickoff to Trump's 2016 campaign.
I do think the entire point from the famous escalator ride 9 years ago until today of Donald Trump's public life has been to remind us of one fact.
He's too lazy to even walk downstairs. Now, it's hard to pick out the most insane thing the RNC gave us this week. Wait, no, it's not, because everyone's asking what the hell happened to Matt Gaetz's face. We all know Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz. I know that guy does up there. Who typically looks like this. Just your run-of-the-mill, five-head, Florida douche. But last night, Gaetz debuted a new look, and oh my God. Holy brotox. He looks like a flame-broiled Donny Osmond. What happened? What on earth? What happened? Well, according to one expert, either Gaetz had Botox done last week and it abruptly kicked in, or he had a combination of an eyebrow lift, eyebrow threading, and possibly some makeup. I am so surprised. And from the looks of it, so is Matt Gaetz. So, now, a lot of people are mocking him for this. And in honor of the GOP's call for unity, I will join them. Matt Gaetz looks like a wax drag queen from Whoville. And that's just one picture. That's just one picture. In this other picture, he looks like he's in a business school production of Cats. Or he looks like if the Joker worked at Sephora. Now, to be fair, maybe that's just a bad angle, because there's an even worse angle. Here it is. He looks like if Pennywise went to law school, or like his plastic surgeon went to med school on a riverboat. So anyway, there it is. Longest speech of all time. They did it, though. They had a convention. They made me watch most of it, and I made you watch some of it. Please forgive me. We got a great show for you tonight. My guest is Bernie Sanders. And when we come back, meanwhile, stay awake, won't you?